We're here with head men's basketball coach David Greer as we preview the 2018-19 season. This upcoming year kind of be a transition year in terms of the roster after losing three 1,000-point scorers and another solid defensive and just something you knew you were going to get out of George Spencer. Talk about that group of Ronald Booth, Marcus Moore, Chuck Key, and George Spencer.
Well, as good as basketball players as those young men were, they were even better people. They're outstanding young men who represented the university in a first-class fashion. Obviously, they're pretty good basketball players too. You just don't, score 1,000 points and not be a good basketball player. And those guys have done it. And I couldn't be more proud of them. And to me, that's what being a student athlete is all about. And they're graduating and moving on.
Last year you were kind of building towards that year, and it was successful, maybe a little bit disappointing there at the end, but to win 15 games after some of the seasons that you had leading up to it, what were you most happy with after last year?
Well, again, the ending was disappointing. I thought our guys competed really well. They won the south side of the division. Obviously Ferris was the class of the league.
Right.
But I thought with any of the other teams we could play with and play really well against. But those young men, I think they did a really good job. They came in as freshmen and, took some pounding as freshmen. But I thought, their junior year they were outstanding and, made the conference tournament. And like I said, last year I thought they competed really well. And obviously losing a home tournament game was a little disappointing for them.
The roster, like I said, was going to look a little different, but you got players like Latin Davis, Kareem Murray, Darian Owens-White, Tristan Wilson. I've played quite a bit of basketball for you. Talk about that group of returners.
Well, I really like our perimeter guys. I think Darren Owen-White is going to be an outstanding point guard. I think Latin Davis will really be the key. Latin has some experience. He has the ability to score the basketball, can play the one or the two. I think Kareem Murray would be the biggest surprise. He brings a level of toughness, a great defender, can rebound the basketball. And, with Tristan, I don't know what to expect, but, I do know at the end of his sophomore year before he got hurt, he was starting to make some big strides. And just from an athletic standpoint and size standpoint, it just gives us a different dimension to our team.
Give us a little preview of what you think the league's going to be like. Obviously, Ferris State had a special season. They have some new players on the roster, but they're going to be solid once again. Take us through who you're looking at as strong competitors.
Well, I think from top to bottom, this may be the strongest the league has been in a long time. Obviously, you mentioned Ferris State. They have a number of guys returning, even though they lost some great players. Grand Valley has some transfers. I look for them to be really tough. Obviously, Michigan Tech has the majority of their team back. And I thought Northern Michigan has made some big strides and really played well. And on our side, Ashland will be really outstanding. They have a Division I transfer from Bowling Green, 6'8", and looks really impressive on paper there. So the league will be really tough. Davenport and all those teams I thought played really well last year in the league, and really it's just no easy out. So I don't know where we stack up in that, but I know we'll compete, and we just look forward to playing good competition, and it's evident by our non-conference schedule. So we're going to play, we're going to show up, and we're going to compete.
As you move into your 18th season here at Wayne State, what keeps you in Detroit, and what kind of keeps you motivated to go into that office every day and get to work?
Well, I love working with young people. I love trying to help them reach their goals, and obviously being a former student athlete myself, I understand the importance of what athletics can do for you. And, I like to, so to speak, pass it forward. And it's just one of those things where I love being on a college campus, and, Wayne State has an outstanding campus and outstanding people to work with.
3 newcomers joined the roster this year and one that was on the roster previously. Talk about those 3 new faces, and Antonio Marshall, Xavier Cochran, and Jacob Jubair. What do you expect from that trio, and will any of I'm assuming they'll get some minutes?
Well, Antonio is a freshman from Detroit King, outstanding shooter. He has good size, about 6'4", a little thin, but come from a strong high school basketball program. He's played defense before, so he should fit in pretty good with us. And Jacob Jubair is a transfer from Detroit Mercy, son of Antoine Jubair, head basketball coach at OCC Community College. Knows how to play basketball, played at North Farmington High School, expect big things from him just from a standpoint that he knows how to run a basketball team, and he's been part of some great basketball teams. And Xavier Cochran is a young man who transferred from Albany, played at Ann Arbor Huron, Mike Lewis' former school, and versatile young man. Probably take George Spencer's spot there. Our team will be a lot like last year from the standpoint we'll play undersized at the 4 spot, but Tristan gives us a little bit more size. But our perimeter guys will pretty much the same as last year.
If you had to kind of maybe write down a few goals for the 18-19 season, what are your goals and expectations as you gear up for the first couple days of practice here?
Well, really, our main goal is to get better every day, to make every practice count and to get better. Obviously we want to be one of the top defensive teams in the league and top rebounding teams. I always feel when you do those things, you give yourself a chance to be competitive. And, I just want the kids to enjoy the season and have fun because really, at the end of the day, it's all about them.